actions, it's not like you're doing Randori. We're not talking about Randori. This is a series of actions off of Ura Waza that are really just like transitional. You're learning to play catch. When you get a little kid, and you say, hey, I can play catch with this kid, and you throw the ball at him, and the ball hits him and bounces off. And say, oh, he doesn't know how to play catch yet, you know? Little kid. You got to throw the ball, and then they have to learn to catch the ball, right? It takes a little while. And then they got to learn to throw the ball at you, and that takes a while. And then finally, you can play a little game of catch together. And this is kind of like that. We're just playing catch. We're just learning to play catch. And so you take people that really don't have this transitional kind of activity going on, and you're giving them a shot at building that up. So, and it's also not saying, hey, you know, any shomanate that comes my way, I can just walkie-gatami. No, that's not true either. It's all probability. It's all probability. There's a high number of shomanates in the world that you can do a walkie-gatami from. But there is a proportion of them, some definable amount, at which point you will not be able to do much other than fall down. You might hold on and fall and throw them while you're falling. That's actually a higher probability. If we wanted to describe this in terms of finite counters that even raise your stakes in terms of self-defense, then it would look very different. It'd be, well, come on, Sean and Kyle, you guys.
One of them.
So he's going to take a shomanate, and Kyle just is going to start taking that fall, and in the falling action itself, we'll see something different. Go ahead. You guys know, you remember this?
I know, I'm just trying to,
okay.
In my head, I'm going to attack him.
Yeah.
And then he's going to push my face in, and then I'm going to...
And then you're going to throw him in
Right.
Timmy Waza. Go ahead. It'll be fine. I have great confidence in you. Yeah. That's actually far more likely. If you're saying, oh, I just want to counter him and blast him, and he does like Amiate, and you say, just as he lays the hammer on, and you do accept the off balance, you go into the fall, he's taking the fall, and then I think I'll share. So if you want the finite, high probability thing that's just going to slam him, this is more like it. But that's not what we're trying to do. We're not going there exactly. We need to go through the whole deal with those. Yeah, A, B, C, D, bang, 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 bang. That's a bunch of hammers. That's nice. I like it. But it's a little hard on uke, you know? And sometimes you get tangled up in feet and the ankles get broken. It's a little dicey. A little dicey. You gotta watch out with your leukemia in that deal. But this ain't that. And it's not Randori. This is going in the direction of getting towards Randori. Because what is Toshu Randori? It's an expression of Kazushi and Ju. It's an expression of a combining of two big principles of activity, of attack and taking that attack into Kazushi, and developing off balance and the situation of Kazushi. And on the receiving end, on the uke side, on the ukimi side, it's all about experiencing and accepting and allowing Ju, the principle of Ju, flowing with, taking it in, not trying to get into the resistance thing. When you get into the fight of the battle of the gargantuas, we see this in judo a lot. And you know, that's different. It's Shigeko or it's Shiai, but it's really not even Randori anymore. And so you have a whole set of paradigmatic ideas you got to kind of keep in place to know what's going on, where you're doing what you're doing, in order to keep it fluid. And so what you said, going to flow, it's hard to make it go into flow. You're taking it on into real Randori, and it's too clumped in training small reflex actions so that as you feel this come on you, you think, I wonder what would happen if I turned my hip. You know? Because this is not an intuitive automatic response. This takes a little bit of study before something like that comes out.
In fact, you're doing things
More often it's something like this. That's what the reflex in the normal body goes, oh, stop it, you know. I don't want to stop it, I want to dance with it.
Yeah.
So, trained reflex. Trained reflex here.
Trying to counterintuitive reflex.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of repetition. And so again, you're playing catch. It takes a little bit of repetition for that kid to finally clue into catching that ball. and finally clue into getting it back to you in the general vicinity of you.
And that
Throw it
15
over there first.
That 15 years old, baseball,
Right,
no glove.
right. Right, because it's
Or
gonna hurt
running
like
with-
hell otherwise. Yeah, if you just stand there and go whacking and your hand hurts for 2 hours, like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done it that way. Exactly. So catch becomes pretty elaborate.
Yes.
I mean, we start with a beach ball, and then it gets, you're throwing hardball at each other, or to each other, I shouldn't say at, because if we're throwing it at each other, what are we playing?
Dodgeball.
Dodgeball. And if you're out there playing dodgeball with each other, what is that?
Combat. Somebody's gonna look.
Shia. Combat. Shia. Exactly. So, where the hell were we? Oh, come on. Get nothing. Great. And he's doing gate nothing. Oh, man. Good. And we're going to exploit that little lifting action. That little rise. He doesn't want to do gate nothing and get hit in the face at the same time. He's a pretty bright guy. And because he doesn't want to get hit in the face at the same time, he makes that lift. And I lift with him.
Right.
Yeah, like we're serving a pizza up here. But you calm up. You may decide to follow this up almost immediately here, which is kind of nice too. Not too bad. Also, you also get this. This wonderful stuff. Through which we had a few different ideas, one of which was, let's do some rope cut. He's going to put this on his thigh and step through. Turn.
I remember.
Oh, okay. He's going to start to rotate, and as he rotates, he's going to put his hand on his thigh. Just try and find out. There you go. Now, as he gets to his thigh, he wants to step away. A long drum step. So good. We're going to get a little rotation. A little rotation going on. At the same time, we're going to bring this here. Okay? At the same time, I'm going to draw that foot back. Cool? Now, Robocata ends look like a lion's ear. We're not going to do that quite. You can if you want, but. Kind of like this, but you have a lot of energy to this. Now, it's also very typical that this sort of activity, this sort of, and he drew it back to me. Yeah, just go. Yeah, good. Oh. You get this, this wonderful thing happening. And it also resolves often that you wind up in this sort of thing. And we're all very familiar with Testament, most of 1987, 88, 89, somewhere in there. I don't remember doing this to people. But I do recall just about a year of saying, want to hand Randori? Great, I love this. How about that? Did that a lot. Some of you remember. Wiser people said, probably shouldn't do that all the time. It's kind of dumb to just, get locked into that.
You get really good at it.
I got good at it, but there's smarter things. So, this is not a bad position to wind up in. And it comes out of here very often. Boom. This sort of thing. Cool. When you find yourself here, this is a beautiful thing that came from Glenn Dunn. I fell in love with it. Making my evil mind Toshi like I did for years. Aha! I have you. And he just sits outside foot. Aha! He just accepts it, just pulls a little of that energy off. And then he just cuts it in half. Right over there. Aha! Ha! It's almost like an ice skater. Come do it, man. You do it so beautiful. Just set up a Mayatoshi. Two-handed Mayatoshi. Just get in position. That's fine. Just go into the spot. There you go. You're just going to throw him. Go ahead. Yeah. Lovely. Beautiful thing. Results will vary.